Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Today we're at Salisbury Racecourse for the Wilts and Dorset Car Show 2022. This is the second year this event has run. Let's go and check out and see what's here. Hello everyone and welcome to Salisbury Racecourse for the Wilts and Dorset Car Show 2022. We start off with a Ford Escort Mexico. 3 doors, very popular styling for these cars. Naturally in the best colour as well. I think I made that play in many videos. Mazda MX-5 with the pop-up headlights, Mark I R-Reg, so I think that's getting towards the end of production of these particular cars. Ford Fiesta Zetec R-Reg, so same age as the Mazda. I think that would have been around the same time that Ford still owned Mazda, if memory serves correctly. Could be wrong about that. Yeah, these cars were incredibly popular back in the day, but nowadays lesser seen. It's being driven by a learner as well. If we just have a look at the interior, been modified. They've got Recaro seats, so extreme comfort and also a bit of a sporty performance, which maybe suggests potential modifications to the engine. Wouldn't have thought too many being a learner. Escort RS 2000, dressed up as a Escort Cosy. Something a little bit different, quite a really well done model actually. The wings are different colour to the bonnet. But nonetheless, a very good looking car. I always like the Cosy, even though I know this isn't a genuine one. Subaru Legacy Estate, very practical with Subaru performance. BMW E30, 3 Series, love these things, really good. That's the BMW I'd have if I could have one. Triumph TR6, always love the lines on these things. Front flip bonnet. Look at that engine, glorious. The interior as well. There's Genevieve standing there, getting some photos of today. Mgb Gt. Again, another car I really like. I know my friend Lewis Macklin, the Macklin's Motors, he really likes those cars. Porsche Panamera, probably one of the newer cars here. Of course, this show is open to cars of any age, so you do get quite a good variety with this. Such as, obviously, you got the Porsche, and then next to it, the Triumph Stag. T-bar roll hoop. Love the Stag. Another car I'd maybe buy if I could one day. Automatic gearbox in that. There's Millie getting a bit of attention. The next to Millie, Austin A35, got the 948cc engine. There are subtle differences between this and the A30. One such being the horseshoe-shaped grille that's on the A35 and the slightly elongated bonnet top piece. Now the biggest giveaway, if you're ever looking, the speedo reads up to 80 miles an hour on the A35. Whereas on the A30 it only reads up to 70. Yeah, there's Millie looking good, advertising our party, which at this point is only 2 weeks away. That's mildly terrifying. Lovely TVR next to it. I'm not quite sure of the model. Have to have a little look at that in a moment. Little racing cloverleaf. Looks kind of like the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio type. I know it isn't. It'd be quite different. Wire spoke wheels. TVR Grand Tourer. Okay, as I say, never seen one of these before, so it's always good to see cars you've never seen. Certainly widens your view on vehicles. Next to the TVR, Series 2A Land Rover. Love these little things. This one seems to be called Hector, judging by the little plate they got on the wooden board on the front. It's a great little display sheet. Tells you everything you need to know about the car and a few extra little details.
Full folder and everything.
Oh, yeah, Genevieve's just seen full folder. And info on the windscreen. By that little plate down there. Let's have a quick look. 3 seats in the front. Many seats in the back. Of course, these were built in the days before seat belts were compulsory. Another TR6. Love those things. Really nicely styled. Mgb convertible or roadster. Plenty of badges on the front grille. There's a more modern Mini Cooper 2004 with what looks to be mini lights. That's different. I don't think I'll really see many newer Minis with mini lights on. Over here, Daimler Dart. Pretty sure we saw this fairly recently at the Wilton House Wilton Wake Up meet. Pretty sure we did. I mean, I've seen it somewhere before. Another car we've seen before at shows, Volkswagen Golf Country. A little bit different. Synchro gearbox. Yeah, really tall cars these. I'm not even sure if they're 4x4 at this point. Please, somebody if you know, let me know in the comments. Peugeot 205 GTI. What engine's this one got? The 1.9, the engine everybody wants in these things. Love the interior. Again, not sure if the camera's picking up too well. Paintwork is absolutely glorious on this. It's like a Nissan Skyline. Let's have a quick look at the engine. Jet speed tuning on it, so I imagine it's probably producing a lot more power than it would have done as standard. A Ford Zephyr, lovely looking cars these, certainly bring a lot of Americana style to the UK, especially little details like this which says Ford Motor Company Limited of England. Let's have a look at that interior, that is absolutely glorious. I like how the dashboards match the paintwork of the car. Vintage and classic car, 3 Counties Club. That's one I might have to check out. I've never heard of that club before. Porsche 911. It's like a bit more of a upmarket one, GT3. There we go, so it definitely is. A bit more track focused than other Porsche models. Extremely lightweight, of course, rear engine. Roll cage in the back. As is compulsory for track-based vehicles, obviously in case they roll it. I like the number plate as well. That's really nicely done. Matches quite well. Triumph Stag, this is a lovely shade of green. All the badges on the grille as well. Oh, I like that with the stag on it as well. I imagine that's probably laser cut. Being part of the Triumph 25th New Forest run in 2017. Looking there. Lovely coloured interior. There is some live music on as well, so you'll probably hear that in the background. The Chevrolet C 1.0 truck, I'm not quite sure on the model, that might well be it. 8350. Oh, I like tyre writing. That's something that needs to be bought more in the UK. The heartbeat of America, definitely. A Saab 9.3, quite different to its Vauxhall, I think, Vectra counterpart. Because these cars based on Vauxhalls of the time, because of General Motors owning Saab and Vauxhall at the same time. The Saab often took very little notice and just did their own thing. So they made their own sat-nav for cars like this, and it was vastly expensive compared to what they were meant to be using. But I think the Saabs are really good looking cars. They've aged extremely well. Sadly, Saab is a brand that no longer exists. I don't actually know if Scania still exists, which of course is their truck division. So, again, let me know that, I'm not quite sure. Glorious Jaguar Mark II. It's got a 3.4 litre engine, classical badging on the front, wire wheels, body colour match as well. 340. Oh, I like these images as well. There's a lot of things I like with this, even the wing mirrors. Quite similar to my mini mirrors, those. Ford Orion 1.6. This cane, it's called, I think. English Ford from Tower Park, Pool in Dorset, which I think that dealership still exists. This car has been adjusted to use unleaded petrol. That's a little detail I like, because of course there was a bit of a crossover with leaded and unleaded petrol. Rover Mini, British Open Classic. Classical pinstripe on there, of course, all the view in the world. Gold wheels, sports pack arches. Lotus Elan, quite different to its 60s counterpart. The 60s one was front engine, I think this is mid engine. Lovely, bet these are really fun to drive as well. Yes, I think this is mid engine. Vauxhall Vectra SRI 130, that's just 130 horsepower, part of the Hampshire Vauxhall Owners Club. Yeah, Vauxhall's a scene we've looked at a little bit more in depth lately, with various Vauxhall shows and cars featuring on the channel. Here's a Vauxhall Cavalier, which of course in Europe was known as the Opel Vectra. The Cavalier name was only ever used in the UK, as far as I know. It's quite fun to see the difference between the two cars, given that one is just a development of the other essentially. Quite similar underneath. Lotus Esprit. Of course, this is also in the same colour as the one used as a submarine in the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. 1977 Lotus Esprit. Let's have a quick look at the info. It's come from Somerset. This early example was purchased by the present owner in 1983 and enjoyed for 15 years before being sold due to motorsport commitments and a growing family. Then went to live in Southern Ireland before being reacquired in 2007. Had body refurbishment and a full-on suspension and brake overhaul. I like the spare wheel in the front, just having a look. Consisted of fiberglass body mounted on a sheet steel and tubular chassis with a 16-valve all aluminium engine mid-mounted. So there we go. Can learn some things. Let's have a quick look. Glorious. Daimler just here, or Daimler. It's a V250. I think this is based on the Mark II Jag as well. The two cars are very closely related at one point. A Ford pickup, it's a custom. I like the slightly rusty patina this car's got, or truck's got to it. It's got what looks like a knitted Kermit in the front. Cat in a hat down there. But this is a little bit different to drive. I like the fabric over dashboard as well. Have a look under there. Oh, look at that. Edelbrock air filter on a big old engine. That's the sight you gotta love, isn't it? Triumph GT6 Mark II. Same sort of front end as the Spitfire, but obviously a bit more of a coupe style. Here's Murray the Land Rover, we've reviewed on the channel earlier this year. Link will be somewhere up at the top of the screen. Yeah, Murray's going to come to the party as well in 2 weeks' time, so advertising it quite nicely up there. An Austin Healey Sprite. My dad had one of these for quite a few years. His was a different colour to this. His I think was a tuned, or at least Mini Cooper S tune level of 998. Although it's a different layout. It's longitudinal, I think the Mini's transverse comparison. Well, don't think it, I know it. Armstrong Siddeley, 17 horsepower Burlington Coach Saloon. Sold in Hastings. The price was £475 plus tax of about £12 to £15, sorry, £12, 15 shillings. Okay. A little bit different. It's great when people leave stuff out like that for people like me to read, because I really don't know anything about Armstrong Siddeley cars. I like the more suicide style of door. Another TR6 next to it. Alan Mann Racing Ford Cortina with a little racing spot on the side, gold stripes. Silicone hosing, really good as an upgrade. That's one of the reasons that I did silicone hoses on my Mini, because the rubber ones just perished. They weren't as good quality as they maybe once were. But silicone really seems to have solved all the cooling issues my Mini had, so I imagine this may be why that's got the same thing. 1964 Cortina Mark I. 1760cc Ford Crossflow engine with twin 40s carbs. It's a replica from the 1960s Alan Mann Racing team. Starts out as a deluxe model and it's come all the way up here from Bournemouth today. It's lovely. Love the paintwork on these. I know that fellow YouTuber Shmee150, though his channel is aimed at a different sort of audience to mine, he's done his Ford GT up in this livery, or at least this style of livery. Alan Mann Racing, that's for sure. Ford Capri, I think it's a Mark III. The yellow TR6. Jaguar S-Type. I think this might have been here last year as well. I always like the S-Type. Porsche Boxster. BMW, I think it's a Z4, this one. But I do like the way that the badge integrates into the indicator. And Z3 as well. The Jaguar Enthusiast Club for the Wiltshire region are here with quite a few Jaguar models. Just have a quick look through. Lovely E-Type at the back there. XKR, I think it is, right at the back. Mark II, lovely E-Type and F-Type. Loads of them. Next to the Jaguars, the MG Owners Club are here with quite a few models. Mgb Gt V8. ZS. Mgb, let's just have a quick look under there. Lovely B series engine and an MG TF. Next to them, the Audi Addict, who seem to have brought down a collection of TTs today, various generations. I like the TT, good little car. Wiltshire performance cars, Ford Focus RS Mark III, Mountune tuning, so quite a lot of power in there, I would imagine. Custom finished by Paint Mods. It's quite interesting to do style like that, so if you're ever looking to get your engine covers done, maybe check them out. VW Golf R32, BMW M2, quite a few other cars at the back. Wessex Car Club. Oh, Ginetta. Austin Healey Sprite and a Frog Eye Sprite. This, I think, is a Morris Mini. Yes, it is. Morris Mini Mark I. It's a Cooper. Lovely tuning in there. I like little details like that. Mgb Gt as well. Of course, based on the Healey Sprite platform, quite a lot of cars were shared between British Leyland BMC cars at that time. Vauxhall Insignia Misfits, I think we saw these down at the Simply Vauxhall show. The level of detail people go to with their cars, that's obviously not an Insignia. Nissan GTR, high visibility paint on that, can't miss it. Little Red Devil, because this car is known as the Red Devil evidently. Good turnout cars. Then Club Audi with a few vehicles as well. And a Rover P6 over there on one of the trade stands. That one is actually for sale. You could buy that. This could be yours, as I usually say. £15,000, 30,000 miles. Ford Escorts Mark II 2 litre, brought down, little race or rally car. Been brought down by Fieldfare Trailer Centre, who are obviously here displaying one of their trailers. It's very simple under there, isn't it? But very nicely done, very well detailed. Also advertising Cerberus storage, so if you're looking for storage in the Salisbury area, then maybe one to look at. Lancia HF Stratos, not sure if this is a kit car or a genuine article Stratos. Either way, love the styling of these cars, especially in rally livery. Bilstein gas pressure shock absorbers on the car and camel livery, a well-known one. Lovely little car this. And a couple of cars being brought down by the local Ford dealership. The Ford Mustang Mach E. There is the dealership. On top of the Mustang Mach E, they've also brought down a fairly new Cougar hybrid as well. Ford Granada GXL. Next to a Granada Scorpio. Aston Martin sounds quite good, doesn't that? Morgan 4.4. Not quite sure what engine this would have. I know at the time this was produced, Morgan had a bit of a partnership with Ford and BMW, so it could have either one of those brands' engines in there. Lotus 7. Lovely little thing this. Genevieve's just there behind Murray. Tiny steering wheel, look at that. Many of those switches look familiar to me. They come straight from a Mini by the looks of it. Rover P6 3500S. Big old badge. Aston Martin, I think it's a V8 Vantage convertible, this one. Have a quick look at the interior. It's not every day you get to see an Aston Martin. Sticker of the Nürburgring in there. Probably been around there quite a few times, I would imagine. Kia Stinger. These things available with, I think it's a 3 litre V6. I know Joseph Lloyd got to look at one at the SMMT Regional Day last year. Chrysler Crossfire, not a car that's massively common in the UK. Love the word done on there. Something a little bit different, really helps it to stand out. Based upon an old Mercedes platform. Cadillac Coupe de Ville. This I know we definitely saw here last year. Huge car. Elvis Presley in the dashboard. Definitely rings a bell that it was here. Love these things though, they're absolutely huge. Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. Just look at that. The interiors of these cars are just something else. And next to that, humble old Morris Minor traveller called Horace. Jensen Healey in yellow. Lovely colour, really suits this car to be honest. The wheels look great as well. Wooden dashboard. Drive Vitesse. A little bit different to the Herald. Had quad front lights as compared to say twin or double. About 595. One of the newer cars here. It's composite's the only spec as well. The tricolor flag down there on the diffuser. Second Ford Orion, it's a 1.6 this one. This is something different. Benny, the smart coupe even, not a 4.2. Although only two people can obviously get in this. Automatic gearbox, I think it's about 700cc engine in that. Little Marcos, I believe based on the Triumph platform. Marcos also made cars based on the Mini. Ford Consul Capri, I think this is. 109E fresh air heater. Lovely condition this one. Really brings a lot of style to the cars in the UK, doesn't it? Really like these. A Land Crab. Austin 1800cc engine in there. So again, a little bit different. A later Mgb Roadster, part of the Bournemouth and Poole MG Owners Club. Volkswagen Golf Mark III. It's a colour something edition. Let's have a look. Colour concept. There we go. Wow, those seats are something else. It's nice, I like it. Part of Club GTI. Lancia Fulvia. Bit of sound ending on the bonnet. Nissan Micra K11. Pontiac Trans Am. Have a little advertising down there. 455 HO. I don't know what that means. No, the paintwork, the little, I guess almost Firebird type paint job or sticker job on there. It's really quite a nice car, it's huge. And a Ford Mustang. Let's have a quick look. Again, love this sort of era of cars. Don't really know too much about American vehicles, but what I do know is I do like the Mustang. Austin 1300 in a glorious blue with Dunlop wheels, they really suit this car. Not only Austin 1300 models down there next to the steering wheel. Chrome ringed Smith's gauges. Just all little details. Yeah, 1300cc engine in this. Very sporty, quite fun. Next to it, the car based on the same platform, but the Riley Kestrel. Morris 1100 with a hydroelastic float-on fluid suspension. 60 years old. Yes, this is definitely a Riley, it says there. Just reading the sign in there. So 1100 Mark I saloon from 1966, finished in period 60 duotone colours of sandy beige and Arienka with mushroom interior. Arienka, I'm not quite sure how it's said. But it's quite nice to see the duotone. Little MG, lovely thing this. Colour really suits it, especially with the red grille. Austin 7, precursor to the Mini. Of course, a car that really made personal transportation in the UK with the motor car a very real thing. Wire wheels, 4-door as well. Spare wheel on the back, love these things. More modern Mustang GT. These I think were sold in the UK with either the choice of a 5-litre V8, which this car has got, or a 3.5-litre EcoBoost engine, which although it'll be cheaper and more economical and also less harmful to the environment, Mustang, it's got to have a V8, right? Mercedes SL 400, very fancy interior, massively long bonnet as well. Quite like the styling of the grille on these. A little sort of pebbly effect, I guess it is. Little Mini 1000, I think it's a Mark III, this one. Glorious interior on this. Centre dashboards, speedo. Another Caterham Super 7, nearly says it's a Lotus. Very similar logo, but definitely a Caterham on this. Side exit exhausts. I like it. The other one that I saw earlier today might actually be a Caterham, but with Lotus badging. Who knows? The modification scene for these cars is quite large as well. Suzuki X90, bit of a strange car, massively loved, even though it's almost 4x4 type body, but only 2 seats. I'd say a little bit different, but I like the colour matched wheels. This, however, is a Lotus Super 7. It's glorious, got a Cosworth engine under there, so I imagine it's got quite a lot of poke to it. What's that front end? 1500 Cosworth, it's Series 2. Lovely TVR. Fog lights just integrated down there, they're so small. Probably the most expensive car here, not just because of the car, but also the number plate as well. Your Rolls Royce. These, I do like the way that the centre caps stay where they are, so it's always saying Rolls Royce in the right way rather than just having them all spin. A blue interior, bold choice for a Rolls Royce. These come from Rolls Royce in Manchester. Ford Capri 2.8 injection. Over the dashboard, very clean in there. Wish I could say Millie was clean, but she just isn't today. Gas struts, holding the bonnet up. An Abarth Yamaha Racing Special Edition. I really must find out what the tie-in is between Yamaha and Abarth to make this car. I've seen quite a few of these now. It's a fairly new model as well. Registered fairly locally to here, I would imagine. Yeah, really must find out what the connection is between Yamaha and Abarth. Just before we move on to the glorious little MG next to it, I've been finding out a few details about the Abarth Yamaha edition. Now, a lot of people seem to think that owners of these cars just stick Monster Energy stickers and Yamaha stickers all over the cars, but actually Abarth and Yamaha did have a bit of a partnership with this. Yamaha actually tuned the engine somewhat on the Abarth Yamaha editions. It's actual Yamaha blue paint as well, the stripes. It's just a lovely car. I think it was done a bit to commemorate Yamaha's 70th, and somehow they got a connection to Abarth. I'm really not quite sure on that. I need to do a bit more research. And the music starts up again. A Dax Dion AC Cobra replica of the original AC Cobra. Lovely woodrim steering wheel. Ford Anglia 105E Estate. These are very rare now. Woodrim steering wheel, lovely little gauges in there. Good practicality levels. Austin Healey 3000. These things are extremely well held these days. Green carpet in there to match the sort of more turquoisey body colour. White. Let's have a look at this. It's a Jensen C V8 Mark II. Again, a car I've never seen in person before. Toe strap on there. Looks to be maybe a bit more racing inspired, judging by the stickers all over it. Fire extinguisher in there. Now this is absolutely glorious. Little Caterham 7. I think this might even be the base spec of it. Something seeing like 80 horsepower. Little Suzuki 900cc turbo engine, I think it is. If this is the right model I'm thinking of. White steel wheels, so I think it is definitely the base model of it. But 80 horsepower in a car that weighs a little more than about 400 kilo, maybe even less. You don't need much more horsepower. This would be great fun down a country road. I'd love one of these. And of course, with Suzuki engine, you get all the reliability with it as well. What's not to like about them? Mgb Gt, lovely little mini Mayfair. It's like a little sort of cherry red colour. Always love minis. MGF, V-Road, so maybe getting more towards the end of production of the F before the TF comes in. There's the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Quite like the red lips around there, I suppose. Really not quite sure what this one is. It's a Ford. Don't know the model. Just have a quick look though. Got a little RPM gauge down there. Rev gauge, rev counter. And finally, a Hillman Super Minx. It's a Mark II convertible. Red interior. Very red, in fact. Aftermarket speakers installed down there. Oh, I like the clock in the dashboard as well. Loads of the aftermarket buttons installed. Luggage rack on the back. I do like the Hillmans. I especially like the Hillman Imp and the Hillman Husky. Wouldn't mind having one of those in my future garage. But yes, that is Wilts and Dorset 2022 here at Salisbury Racecourse. Hopefully you've enjoyed this walk around of the cars here. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, let me know which is your favourite car out of all the ones here today. And of course, if you want to see more car-based content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because there's always plenty more of it coming up on the channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, farewell. That's going in the outtakes.